Welcome back to the Hair Curler Chronicles. Tim and Nancy Danter. No Tim today, but I'm back again with my dear friend, Debbie Peltola Salmons.
I wanted keto pancakes this morning, but we've really had flops. Do you have a good recipe?
Welcome back, Debbie. We are on the third of our three-part series, which is all around the financial diet. And we've had some really great chats up until now. In the first part, we were talking about savings. In the second part, we talked about why it's really important to pay your debt off. That is really and truly, before you can start looking at investing, you really need to take a good hard look at what you've got in debt and what debt is good debt versus what debt is just not serving you well, and you got to take care of that straight away. So today I thought what we would talk about is creating multiple streams of income. And so I know that you are the queen of this. And so I just wanted to start having a little bit of a conversation about maybe if you could give us a high level of what does multiple streams of income look like. So maybe we'll just start there.
Sounds good. And I am so glad to be back. And I am so glad that we have actually been talking about this, because this was a journey that you and I went on. And, as we've opened ourselves up to discussing it with other people, there's so many that just were stuck and don't know what to do. So, whether this sounds simple or basic to some of you, it's not to a lot of you, and it's really, really important. So yeah, I was very blessed as actually growing up with being taught about multiple streams of income. My dad was, the old jack of all trades that they talk about, right? But he was predominantly a cranberry farmer, but he did all kinds of other things to add income. He'd go wallpaper, he'd paint, he'd weld, auto mechanics, anything that was in his forte to create extra income. And then he started doing investing, which he taught me about, at a very young age, because really you've got to have multiple streams of income. It is not like it was even when my dad was a young man, where if you had a corporate job, you worked there for 45 years and you got a pension and you went home and you were all set. That's not the world in which we live. And it hasn't been that way for a long time.
Right.
So there are, 7, 8, 9, 10 different categories of income. But we're just going to stick to the basics here, Nance, and the two, which is an active income stream or a passive income stream, right? And, pretty basic. But an active income stream is the income that you have for going to work every day, for punching your clock, whatever it is. You get paid for, punching your clock, or if you offer a service, you get paid for that service. So you are actually having to exert your own energy to get that income stream, right? Pretty basic. The second is passive income. And that's income that you earn on investments or on work that you've done in the past, like affiliate marketing, residual marketing. And I'll share a few because I've done a lot of them. I've done everything from vending machines. I had vending machines, and because that is more of a passive income stream, because you go and the active part is to refill the machine, but otherwise it's sitting there for weeks or however long it takes, and you just check on the machine. I've had vending machines. I've been in affiliate marketing. I've done network marketing for many years. I've done crafting and created my own jewelry and sold that. I've sold cards door to door. I've sold artwork. I've done traditional, I was a psychologist by trade. So I've done it all, and I still do. I've expanded into investing in cryptocurrency, right? Keep open to that. I am still involved in what I like to call mailbox money. What's mailbox money? I have been involved in network marketing and affiliate marketing programs that I no longer actually actively build them, right? But I built them to a level where they're still going, and I get checks and mailbox money. And I'm not working that anymore. right? So those are the basics that I want to start with, Nance, and then let's just toss it back and forth because I know you've done a lot of passive income as well. And we'll go back and forth and share some of those ideas.
Yeah, and I think that in a previous video we talked a little bit about our story and getting ourselves into trouble. And the year that happened for both of us was in 2007 for you, but 8 for me. And that was the year that I actually had changed and I had only one stream of income and from one primary source. That was the first time in my life that I had made the decision, and it was an actual decision to divest myself of my other ventures to focus solely on one venture. And that really caught me in the behind on many levels when the Great Recession happened. So for me, I will never allow myself to get to that place where I only have one stream of income. And some of the passive income or some of the income that we've had in the past, I had a business partner who lived out in British Columbia, and we had a tech company, an online tech company. And we made an app before apps were a thing.
You did? I don't even know this about you.
Yeah. No. We had a website. It started off as a website, and it was called learnersprep.com. I don't even think it's in existence anymore. I think it's gone by the way of the dodo bird. But we took the driver handbook, the thing that people study to go and get their driver's license. And we wrote quizzes and tests and things like that, really interactive, cool stuff. So people bought into that. And then so instead of just reading a book and then going and trying to get your driver's license, you actually was a site where you could practice some of the test questions. And it was super fantastic. It was we had to front load all the work on it. But then on the back end, it was just something that ran on its own. So it was creating that passive income that we didn't need to do it anymore. We just answered emails and quick inquiries and whatnot. And then we had a programmer come and say to us, "Can I take this and turn this into an app?" We didn't know what the hell he was talking about.
You're like, "What's an app?"
It was an app, and he was trying to show us what it would look like on this little itty bitty phone. But we had a bunch of that stuff going on. We had multiple ideas happening in the background, and that wasn't our primary stream of income. And over the years, I've sort of been like you, I've dabbled in the network marketing side of things, and I've never been as successful as you at that. But I will say I had mailbox money for a while on a few ventures. It just kept coming in, and those little dollars can add up over time. More recently,
it's the little things. It's the little dollars that add up.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Again, I mean, we talked about that in the other segment.
Right.
It's really important to there's that old adage, right? A penny saved, penny earned.
Yeah, and so more recently, Tim and I have gotten into the house we live in right now, we rent. I know it's going to sound crazy. We live in a rental, but we own properties that we rent out. So our goal was we live very, very meagerly below our means, and like we're comfortable, we're cute, we love our little environment, we're cozy here. There's no complaint about this whatsoever.
It's lovely there. I've been.
Yeah. But what we've opted to do instead is to have 2 properties that are rentals for us. And so that makes us more money. And so the goal is to have that additional income. Again, it's a little not quite passive income, but it's not active.
Right. But it is. It is. And, the thing is, I wanted to say to some, your friends and your audience that watch this, Nance, is they watch the other segments. We really have done everything that we've said. That we've given you suggestions, because what I will tell you is I had numerous passive income streams going on when I wasn't out in the work world, and I was bringing up my kids and they were little, and my husband was out in the work world. I did some of those tips I told you. And I was always involved in network marketing. And, sometimes I, made $300-400 a month. Well, I didn't spend that. I did exactly. It went into a savings account. And any increase that came in, I paid 10% of that savings account. So the one thing that did happen when we had the crisis in 2007, Nance, I had enough money for us to survive for 2 years on
Right.
all little dollars, the $5 here, the $100 there, the 500. I put it in there. And so we were able to survive for 2 years because I did that. So when you think those little dollars don't add up, I am here to tell you that they do. They make
Oh,
a
for
huge
sure.
difference.
And I think here's the message for everybody, specifically with you and I, is I don't think, and maybe I'm putting words in your mouth, but I don't think I am. I don't think I've ever thought that anything isn't too good for me to do. So for a while, when Tim and I were first young and first married, we couldn't really completely afford the mortgage on our place by ourselves. We had boarders living with us, two of them, two guys. They were both cops, and they lived with us, and they rented a room out in our place. And that was, at the time, that seemed, it was like I think we were charging them $300 each a month.
Yep.
So that's $600 a month.
Absolutely.
I went towards, and was it fun that it wasn't just Tim and I our own home? It wasn't. We had a good time with those guys, but it wasn't ideal, But
Right.
and then when the kids were little, so I didn't have to completely go back full time. Not only did I still have the boarders living with us, but I also took in the neighbors' kids in the morning and then after school. So I took in those kids. I took a job working at 9 at night till 2 in the morning, so I didn't have to put my kids in daycare. So I'm also of the belief that you do what you need to do, and nothing is too good for me to do. I don't care whether I have to be a dishwasher, whether I have to go pump gas. Nothing for me is too good that I can't do if I need to get myself into a different place financially. That's my opinion.
Oh my gosh. Absolutely. And you spurred some thoughts because I've actually forgotten half of the things I've done. Let me tell you, talk about nothing's too good for you. I scrubbed toilets.
Right.
I scrubbed toilets. I made there was no internet then, but I had a little printer and I made a little brochure, and I went into my neighborhood, and there was some older folks. This was in Florida, and I was scrubbing their bathrooms because I needed that extra money. It
Right.
doesn't matter. There was nothing. And I was taught that no matter what you do it the best you can.
Yeah.
And when you have that mindset where there's nothing that's too good for you to do, and you do it well, that helps you on this journey as well, because you can focus on again, it's about the reason, it's about the goal, right?
I think, and you and I talked about this the other day, there's an energy that gets created when you are working towards something. If you just sit and don't do anything, you can make your situation feel worse and worse and worse, or it just feels neutral. And it feels like you're a bit of stuck. And as crazy as this sounds, it's like that adage. I was trying to explain it to you the other day. People tell you feel better after you exercise, that it creates a whole bunch of energy, good energy to you. But then most people are like, I don't have the energy to exercise. But if you actually pushed through that and did the exercise, you would feel better on the other side. Yep. It's sort of the same way. We all believe, and I am as busy as the next person with my job. My job could eat me up 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. But what did I do in the middle of the pandemic? I started a YouTube channel with my husband. We started learning about more. We got deeper and deeper into cryptocurrency. So we started doing that. And then on top of everything else, I'm flipping lamps, for crying out loud. But some bizarre, weird, awesome, amazing energy that happens, and then all of a sudden crazy doors open and you meet a cast of characters that propel you forward on a journey. It's like the best adventure story you could ever go on. But I can say this till the cows come home. Until somebody actually steps up and does this for themselves, they're not going to know how great it is.
It's all about action. It comes down to action and movement, and the whole physical law of inertia, right? And once something is in motion, it stays in motion. And you just have to take that first step. And what Nance and I know is that you can do it. Each and every one of you can do it. No matter how stuck you feel, no matter how real and kind of overwhelming your circumstances are and feel, you just take action. And it does. A baby step starts that motion. Let me tell you, I work out twice a day right now because I'm involved in this particular program. Well, I didn't want to get up and do that this morning, but I just forced myself. And we can do it. It's mind over matter. And when you have that goal and then you start that activity, like you said, the energy, the momentum, the excitement builds back in your life for a different purpose. Right. So you just have to start.
And so what I will suggest as far as making a passive income, because active income, if you don't have one of those and you can afford not to have one of those, well, good on you. If you don't have one of those and you need one of those, that needs to be your number one priority because it will take care of all the rest of that. If you've got an active income and you are and have been doing it a while and you feel comfortable in that space, now is the time to look at doing something else. And I would say the very, very, very first thing I would do before we do it, you do anything else, is that you get a buddy that you can collaborate with, because yet again, it's that whole thing about collaboration. There's a magic to collaboration, whether it's collaborating with somebody that you're in the same boat about how you're going to get yourself out of debt, or it's collaborating on what am I going to do to propel myself forward. There's a magic to it that is hard to explain. And so in the most recent partnership, I did it with my husband. And like the YouTube, when we talk about it all the time, and it gets exciting. And then I also have Debbie that I talk about things with as well. But that is, I would say, number one thing: find people to collaborate with and build that energy level. What would you say would be your second piece of advice, unless you disagree with me on the first piece of advice?
Oh, no, I absolutely. Because I'm involved in a community where that's what we do. It's all collaboration. So I would add into that, and it's really the same thing: finding a buddy, find a mentor or a coach, right? And you don't have, yes, you can hire them and pay them, but there's plenty out there that you don't have to. I mean, there are Facebook groups now that you can get involved in. And I don't know if you've even seen this, Nancy, but at the top, there's often a button for mentorship.
I haven't seen that yet.
People will offer mentorship. Now, let's understand that those people might turn around and try to, get you engaged and to purchase a program. But take what you can for value for free. That's okay. It's okay to do that, right? Yeah. People are out there now because we're kind of all in the same boat. And so people are advertising and giving you value. And then, yes, they're trying to create a passive income source for themselves as well. But that doesn't mean that the free value that they're giving you isn't worthwhile. So take it and get those mentorships. Or like us, if you know somebody that's, geez, so-and-so went through this, don't be ashamed to ask them. Yeah, reach out and ask them for help. I'm going to tell you, Nance, and maybe if you don't have the link, I'll get it to you. But here's a really simple, we were talking about apps. Yeah. I have an app on my phone. It's free. It's called Acorns. And I have my son set up with this app because a lot of people say, well, I don't know how to invest in the stock market, right? I don't have big money to invest in the stock market. This little app takes you from zero to just even $100 to begin investing, and they do it all for you. And here's how it works, Nance. I connected my main credit card. Now you can connect credit cards or your debit cards, whatever, but I use one credit card mainly. I pay it off every month. It's connected to this app. So every time I use I purchase something, I have it set to roll up to $5. And $5 goes into this app. And when I have $100 in this app, I've set up parameters. It now automatically invests in something for me. Wow. So this is how people that have no clue how to, it's a foreign language, the idea of investing in the stock market. And they don't want to learn about it, right? Right. Simple. I have it on my boy's phone. They have no idea. I checked the other day, Nance. They've got over $6,000 worth of investments running from little $5 upsells on their debit card. Right. So
That's
that's
cool.
just one little tip.
That's an American app. I've had it on my to-do list to see if I could find the same thing in the Canadian
Yes, because
market.
they've got to have one, Nance. They've got to.
They do. I just
If
don't know.
not, I think it's time for you to develop it.
Oh gosh. Yeah, in my spare time, I'll develop another app. But you know what? For sure, Debbie, if you send me your link, then I'm happy to link it down there. And then for at least for the American friends that are watching this, that is a real no brainer, and that is a true passive income. That it's not exactly an income, but it acts like an income because it's accumulating when you're not really looking at it.
It is, Nance, and here's why. Because once you get to the point where they take that $100 and invest, now you're earning dividends.
Right.
Dividends we didn't talk about, because dividends is another source of income that's passive. Right. Now, when my boys started, you want to know what their dividends were? 0.2 cents, 0.3 cents. But then compound interest comes in. That's a whole nother rabbit hole. And there are other apps. I'll mention them because maybe you can check too. There's one called Stash, Stash. I use that one and my boys do as well. I'm not sure if that's available in Canada. Same idea. Same idea. I mean, I've got 4 on my phone, and you control them. So if you only want the roll up to be 50 cents, it can be 50 cents. Right. It just keeps going. So we'll make notes, Nan, and maybe we'll come back and we'll talk about those apps that we discovered that are available for Canada and US, and we can do a whole segment just on those apps.
I think that'd be a good idea. I think our viewers would really, really like this. And again, I would highly encourage people who are watching that, like YouTube University. YouTube there is all kinds of ways you can find passive income. Now, some people pepper YouTube with ads that say earn passive income. Now, I'm not sure about any of those, but the ones that are on, and they've created a whole slew of videos. YouTube, that first and foremost, YouTube is a passive income for them, because once they create that and they figure out how to monetize that, that is a passive income stream for them. But usually the ones that have a load of videos that they've done, I usually kind of go, okay, so they've got some validity to what they're doing. Right. And as I said, a lot of what I've seen out there for the past, since we started this journey in January, I've actually tried a bunch of it, like the dollar store DIYs. A lot of that stuff works. And the flipping works. You just have to find which niche you want to be in. There's one lady, I think her YouTube channel is the Crazy Lamp Lady, and all she does is she videotapes herself thrifting at thrift stores, and then she posts it all up on eBay. Okay, totally not my thing to do that, but I'm fascinated. It's like a train wreck watching that thing. I'm like, I don't
know. You've got an awful lot of lamps, Nancy. I'm just saying.
The Crazy Lamp Lady title was already taken. I'm good. I don't need that title. But you know what I mean? And then again, like you said with the dividends, if you get excited about the stock market, then you should, or a recommendation would be to look at dividend stocks, because there's that passive income coming in. Yes, your stock might grow in value, but there's the passive income. It's no different than Tim and I talking about BlockFi all the time. Yes, our investment is growing, but it's also earning us interest. It's no different than buying the property we did up in Sabo Beach. Yes, the property, it increased in value because of the housing boom that's going on right now, but we have that income that comes in that supports that asset. So everything we do, we should always be looking at it doing multiple things for us, not just one straight thing.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm so excited. I just think this is good stuff. And it's just back to basics, and it's just these little things that some of us manage to pick up on and do and have results, but every single person can do this stuff, Nance. Everybody.
For sure. And I think what we'll end it on today is that, the pandemic has affected us all. Every one of us, I don't think there's a single corner of this planet that hasn't been affected by the pandemic in some way, shape, or form. Us here in Canada, again, we're down. Some of us in some parts of the country are down and lockdown again. And Tim and I have chosen to look at this like it's a gift. It's a gift of time. It's a gift where we can pause and we could go, okay, I need to reevaluate all of these things. When was the last time we looked at the budget and we reviewed all the bits on the budget? When was the last time that we checked to make sure that we didn't have spillage going by subscriptions?
Right.
When was the last time? And so we're going to take the time, and we're not going to focus on what we can't do. We're actually going to focus on what we can do, and what we can do is continue to improve our financial health, because and I'll share this small little bit. I remember telling Debbie when I first restarted an RSP back in 2014.
Oh,
That was such a hard thing to do because I was in such a nail-biting situation, but I did it, and I had it come off my paycheck, and I didn't mention a word of it to Tim, and I just signed up for it. To start somewhere. And I remember after I got my first little slip at the end of that year, I think I had accumulated $7,800 at the end of that one year. And I called Debbie and I cried. It might as well have said $1 million. That's
I
how
remember it clear as day.
it was. I was so proud of myself back in 2014 that I had actually had $7,800 in a bank someplace that I had saved from, and that Tim didn't even notice that was missing from my paycheck. And I will tell you, there's no better feeling. And then it just grows from there, and it becomes addictive, and you want to grow and grow and grow and grow and grow with it. And so multiple streams of income, multiple streams of income, multiple streams of income.
Yeah, can't say it enough.
Multiple streams of income, multiple streams of income, multiple streams of income.
So thank you, Nance. Thanks for having me again.
Thanks, everybody, for joining, and we'll catch you the next time on the Hair Curler Chronicles.
I want them fluffy like pancakes.